In the bustling ER of Prosperity General Hospital, the sharp scent of antiseptic couldn't mask the cruelty that stained the air. Doctor Clara Thorne's voice pierced the tension like a razor. Who do you think you are, black woman? We don't treat slaves here. If you wanted to birth like cattle, you should have stayed in your jungle. Aisha, 38 weeks pregnant, stood doubled over in pain. Sweat streamed down her face, her breath shallow. One hand clutched her belly, the other clung to the doorframe. Please, she whispered, trembling. I need help. Dr. Thorne laughed coldly. Help? You show up screaming, no ID, no insurance, just like all your kind. You people think the world owes you something. Aisha tried again. I'm in labor. Please, call security. Thorne snapped to the nurse. Or better, call the police. Let them deal with this mess. Moments later, Officer David Miller strutted into the ER, sunglasses still perched on his nose. What's the problem? He said, glancing at Aisha. She steal something? These people always do. Thorne folded her arms. She's faking it. Wants free care. I've seen it before. Aisha groaned, a contraction folding her in half. Shut it, Miller barked. Save the drama. You're being detained for disturbing the peace. I'm in labor, she cried. He pulled out handcuffs. Crimea River. 15 minutes earlier, a taxi had screeched to a stop outside the ER. Aisha stumbled out, clutching a plastic bag containing her prenatal card and documents. Her contractions were 5 minutes apart. She could barely walk. Inside, she approached the front desk. Excuse me, I'm 38 weeks pregnant. I need help. The receptionist didn't look up. ID. Aisha fumbled through her bag, trembling. Here, please. The woman glanced at the paper, scoffed, and waved her off. Sit. Wait your turn. Now, handcuffed and kneeling in the corner, Aisha whimpered as blood pooled beneath her. Her cries filled the room, yet no one moved. No wheelchair, no gurney. She's bleeding, an intern said, peering from the hallway. So? Thorne said, let her learn. This isn't some free clinic. She's about to give birth, the intern said. You lift a finger, Thorne warned, and you're done here. Aisha moaned, her body lurching. Her wrists bled where the cuffs cut into her. She collapsed sideways, gasping. Please, my baby. She's dying, whispered a janitor, frozen near the mop cart. The nurse snarled. Shut it. That's not your concern. But she's hemorrhaging, the janitor shouted. She'll lose the baby. An elderly woman rose. Is no one going to help her? Sit down unless you're delivering for her, the nurse snapped. The woman Saturday, Aisha screamed again, a long guttural wail. Then silence. Her head lolled. Blood seeped across the tiles. She needs help now, the intern cried, stepping forward. Thorne glared. Not risking my license for a nobody with no name or insurance. She has preeclampsia. She's seizing. You treat her, Thorne warned. You'll be the one sued. The janitor reached for the phone. I'm calling OB. You touch that phone, the nurse growled. You're gone. But the janitor dialed anyway. I don't care. She's a human being. Across the room, Aisha's body convulsed again. Her dress soaked red. The baby was descending, but no one helped. Her hands were still bound. Her lips parted, barely moving. My baby, she whispered. Please, not like this. And then the ER door slammed open. A tall man in a gray suit stormed in. His blue eyes scanned the chaos, locking onto Aisha. His phone was dead in his hand. Panic carved his features as he rushed forward, voice rising. What the hell is going on here? Dr. Thorne turned, arms crossed. And you are? But he didn't answer. He dropped to his knees beside Aisha, checking her pulse. She's unconscious, he said. And in labor. Why isn't anyone helping? She's not a patient, Thorne snapped. She has no record. No ID. She does have ID, he growled. Her name is Aisha Carter. She works at my company. She's insured under our private plan. The room shifted. A stunned hush fell over the staff. The intern's face lit up. Then we can help her? No one touches her, Thorne snapped again. She's my employee, the man shouted. If she or her baby dies, I will shut this place down. He pulled out a card and shoved it at the nurse. Executive VP, Encompass Holdings. I'm not bluffing. Dr. Thorne's expression faltered for the first time. Aisha stirred weakly. Her lips cracked open. Derek? He grasped her hand. I'm here, Aisha. I'm here. You're not alone. The intern ran to fetch a gurney. She's crowning. We have to move her now. But it was already too late. Aisha cried out again, the final surge of pain racking her body. And then, where is she? William Turner's voice cracked like thunder through the sterile corridor. The CEO of Prosperity General Hospital stood at the entrance, his suit slightly wrinkled, face wild with panic, phone dead in his hand. Aisha, my wife came here alone, pregnant, in labor. Where's she? Silence fell. Some nurses turned pale. Others exchanged fearful glances. One whispered, it's his wife. Then William's eyes locked on the horrific sight at the far end of the hallway. There, on the cold, blood-slicked floor, lay Aisha, unconscious, her body curled in agony, handcuffed, her dress torn at the stomach, and blood pooling beneath her. A baby's head was beginning to emerge. William didn't hesitate. He sprinted to her side, dropping to his knees. Aisha, my God, no. His trembling hands cradled her face. Who did this? Who left her like this? Officer Miller stepped back, stammering, Is she your wife? William's eyes burned. Get those goddamn handcuffs off her. Now, or I'll press charges for attempted murder, negligence, and racial assault. I'll destroy you. The cuffs snapped open. William held her like she was glass. Code red. I want a gurney now. Obstetrician. NICU on standby. Move. Panic erupted. Nurses scrambled. A young intern who had tried to intervene earlier returned, teary-eyed. Weak pulse. The baby's crowning. Strip the gown. Save her and my son. William barked. His voice had command. His face had grief. Medical teams flooded the hallway. Gloves snapped on. The blood-soaked floor was surrounded by sterile urgency. Aisha's eyes fluttered open, and for a moment, just one, she heard her baby cry. It was a short cry, gurgled. Then silence. He's cyanotic, someone shouted. No oxygen. Blue skin, go, go. Neonatal specialists rushed the child away. The head doctor grimly reported possible brain damage. We'll need hours, days to know the extent. William staggered back. Will you save him? We'll try. But the damage was already done before we touched him. And her. She lost a lot of blood. But we've stopped the hemorrhaging. She'll live. William stood frozen beside the gurney as they rushed Aisha to ICU. He said nothing, just held her hand. 3 hours later, the hospital boardroom was tense. William, no longer the grieving husband, but the furious executive, stood tall with a folder in his hand. Dr. Clara Thorne has been suspended. Officer Miller is off this campus permanently. I've requested a full criminal investigation. My wife, your CEO's wife, was handcuffed while in labor, bleeding on your floor. If she dies, if my son dies, this hospital dies with them. No one spoke. This hospital changes today. If you're not part of that change, the door's there. 5 days later, Aisha opened her eyes, whispering, My baby. William was beside her. He's alive, he said softly. She gripped his hand. Incubator? Not anymore. Breathing on his own. But William's voice cracked. Mild cerebral palsy. He'll need therapy, but he's here. You're here. Aisha broke down. Not from grief, but relief. Rage. Injustice. She wept until no more tears came. William leaned close, his forehead touching hers. No one will ever hurt you again. Not while I breathe. A month later, video footage taken by a patient went viral. It showed Dr. Thorne's racist remarks, the neglect, the screaming, the blood. Headlines blazed. Black woman denied care, gives birth in shackles. Protests erupted across the city. The National Medical Board revoked Thorne's license permanently. She was charged with medical negligence, racial abuse, and failure to render aid. In court, she muttered, I didn't know who she was. She didn't look like someone who belonged here. A criminal? The prosecutor asked. She didn't answer. Officer Miller was also fired, without pension. Footage showed him handcuffing a pregnant woman while she begged for help. Old complaints resurfaced. He now faced multiple charges, but not all was darkness. The janitor who tried to call for help, the intern who cried for justice, and the young doctor who stepped in. They were honored publicly. William promoted each of them. 6 months passed. Aisha now pushed a small blue wheelchair through a sunlit park. Her baby, wide-eyed, smiled up at her. He still couldn't speak, but he laughed with his eyes. William walked beside her, coffee in hand. Ready for today's therapy? Always, Aisha said, brushing her son's hair gently. He's stronger than both of us. William wrapped his arms around her. The scars would never vanish, but neither would the fight nor the love. And this time, the world had seen it all.